Hey, world. Hope y'all are good and welcome back to Figuring Us Out podcast with Ison and Andrew.
What's up, everyone?
As you all are aware, we're here to discuss how we are figuring out to sustain our own mental health and overall health. And we just sharing our personal stories and sharing our experiences through our perspectives and just sharing how we are surviving in this world. So all of the information is just really meant to educate and build awareness to of the world on how we're managing our health, and we're just encouraging how folks can model the similar methods and approaches that we do. So just to get that disclaimers out there, y'all, we gotta always do the disclaimers and business in order first, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But this is our third episode, Aisha, and we are being consistent. We're
We're staying
doing it,
strong, man. We're staying strong.
We're doing it.
Yes, sir.
Last time we really shared a lot of our own routines that we do to really maintain our own mental health. We really hope that y'all y'all was able to model and practice some of your own routine as well. This episode is going to be how we use traveling as a way to really influence and maintain our mental health. So hopefully y'all in this world explore the world, and we're gonna share a little bit about what we've done. So Ison,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's do this. Well, first, before we do that, man, how you doing? I know we
overall
got a bunch of
good.
snow out in Portland, man, and it was crazy couple days for some people. But how is it over there?
Man, it's a lot of snow within 24 hours, in Portland we had about 10 inches within 24 hours, but overall it's been good. So our power been on. I've been able to get around safely. All is good over here. Hopefully, since you out in the suburbs, Woodburn, how's Woodburn treating you?
Yeah, we didn't get that much snow. Like maybe like overnight on what Thursday night we had like an inch maybe, but it didn't really stick as much. But and the roads were clear on the south side, so we were pretty good out here. Just I guess everyone going up to Portland. That's when the whole mess started. But I hope everyone's safe out there. If you are out here in Portland, hope everything, your family and friends are okay and are. If not, hopefully they're recovering from that crazy
Indeed,
snowstorm we had.
indeed,
Yeah,
yes.
it's good. Going back to what you're saying. This episode again is about travel. Let's see. Let's do a quick like top three. Well, what's your number three?
Top three places where I've traveled in my lifetime. I would say at the moment, right? Top three. Say the third will probably be Jamaica. I enjoy Jamaica, the Caribbeans. The second, I'll probably say American Samoa. The island
Yes,
is
sir.
pretty out there. And that's your home island life. And I'll say the first, I enjoyed Paris. Paris was cool, and I'm looking forward to travel and seeing other continents as well.
Yeah. Awesome.
How about
Nice.
you, man? What's your top three?
I would say like number three would definitely be Rome. Then number two would be San Diego
San
down in
Diego.
Cali, and then number one would be Melbourne in Australia.
Melbourne.
Yeah,
I
dude.
do want to go there, man. I want to go to Australia, the
Dude,
islands,
it's so
man.
fun. It's so fun out there. Like, and the reason why Melbourne was my number one was because I didn't really know what I was expecting to be there, to be honest. But like, the culture out there, the diversity, um, the places to eat, most especially, and just seeing the way that people are, how they act, and, like they're so nice out there. They're super like always willing to help you out, or just even sort of they kind of mind your own business too, which is
That's
always a
good.
good thing and a bad
Yeah,
thing, of course. But like, it's nice to see like how different it is,
yeah.
but also the same, because you get the that mental um like you just kind of question, like everybody like cares about like the space around you, and also just kind of being
Hmm.
more like, hey, like you guys are like really nice people, you guys have really good food,
Yeah.
and you just kind of like that just improves like your mood, especially
Mm,
like with super good food. But like it's so nice to just see um people around the world and how they are, as a community, or like as like just looking around your surroundings and saying like, oh yeah, these are pretty chill. And so I
that's
mean,
cool. Yeah,
it's pretty nice out there. And what's funny is like I said, I was getting into tennis more, and Melbourne is actually where the Australian Open
yeah.
is. And so I was telling my wife that, like,
That's
I want
cool.
to go there someday and see if, see one of the great players that are still playing tennis. So
Yeah,
hopefully get to do that one day, and
man.
we'll see
That
how it
that
goes.
would be dope to see a tennis match, a professional tennis match. Cause I do want to see Naomi Osaka play.
Hmm.
Um, I haven't seen Serena Williams in live or Venus Williams. I don't think I ever will. But since they'll probably be retiring soon, but yeah, that would be cool to see a live pro tennis match.
Yep, for real. Yeah. You. It was funny. You're saying like American Samoa. I'm from there. What did you like about it?
American Samoa, man, I really enjoy the being on an island. I really like tropical, warm places, and I enjoy the ocean. Just the waves of the ocean is very therapeutic. It's cool. I enjoy the culture in American Samoa. Just seeing nothing but brown people, awesome. Like I seen a few black folks, just of like one or two of them, but I seen a few of them. Uh,
Hmm.
and the food there is good. You will never go hungry on the island. Never go hungry. In the hospitality, man, it's just so cool. So the same things that you mentioned about like how Melbourne, that's how I really felt about American Samoa. Like that island hospitality is different than Southern hospitality. Like I enjoy the American South, but that Southern hospitality, they it they're very hospitable. They will feed you, be nice to you, communicate up front, which I'm a more upfront, direct communicator. And it's funny because my wife and I, we always share like, what's the difference between island hospitality and southern hospitality? And I always share how the island hospitality, they will let, they will feed stranger, and they will let a stranger stay the night. See, a southern hospitality, they will feed a stranger, but they ain't gonna let you stay the night. Like you gotta go.
Yeah.
So I always share like that's how what I think is the difference of that southern hospitality and Americans in that island hospitality, and I those are just some of the things why I really enjoy American Samoa though. So
Yeah. Did you go on like the bus?
no, I haven't. I didn't go on the bus yet, but I almost did though. There was one time where I almost was going to get on the bus, but we was able to get the car. So but I've seen how the bus operates and how system, their bus system works.
Yeah. It's so crazy. I think that's the one thing that like I kind of like miss was that like the buses they don't have like really a regular schedule, but they do have a set time of when they pass by. But it's like the buses there are family owned, so like they can come and go whenever they want, or they can operate whenever they want. But as soon as you go in there, you just hear loud music, subwoofers, and just bumping, and like that's one of the things where it's like I kind of miss that, but it's also like it's so over here you don't see no, everyone's quiet on the
Yeah.
bus. Everyone like minds their own business. But back home, it's like you hear the music bumping, and everybody sometimes they're dancing along, but you know they have some respect in there. But man, those things get packed like crazy. But it's definitely when you go back there, you should definitely go on there just
Yep.
once, just to see how that is. But yeah, man, I think it it would be cool. I haven't been home for like 13 years. Not 13. Sorry, not 13. Maybe 10 years, 10 years. And
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
I'm
long time.
hopefully gonna go there. Yeah, hopefully take a couple time off and see if I can get there hopefully in December or like next summer or something. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I need to take my wife there cuz she's never been,
Oh, okay.
and I think it'd be kind of cool to show her like where I grew up and stuff.
Yeah, man.
My high school and all that and
Yeah.
everything. So
And
that'd be kind of cool.
I'm sure your parents would enjoy seeing you on the island,
Yeah. Yep.
since
Just to
I didn't move. I moved back to Portland when I was gone for about 9 years. So it's it is nice to see home after many years of being gone, just to see like the changes, what have changed, what is still the same. But island life is a good life, man. I'm sure American Samoa is going to be like the second home to myself, since, of course, my wife is from there as well, and I've been there two times so far. So yeah,
you've been there more than I have in the past 10 years, which is crazy. Oh god, dude. I really do need to go back and we'll see. I want to go back. But switching gears a little bit, but like kind of in tuning to kind of the theme of our podcast. Like what do you think is a really good um effect, or like how does it help you with your mental health, I guess, traveling? What does it do for you?
traveling for me is it helps change the scenery just of my routine environment. So it's nice to just see different environments, try different food, just get out of Portland, see more culture at times. I feel Portland have culture, but it's you really got to be very intentional to find black and brown culture compared to other places. It's just so obvious. So it's nice to just be in those so obvious culture environments, like American Samoa, Jamaica. Like you really, it's pretty obvious. And even in Paris, I really like to how Paris would say was my top, because it was more diverse than I thought. I've seen a lot of black folks, a lot of brown folks, and food was all right, but overall, I like the scenery and the view. So when I do travel, I go for like views, like if it's high, like highest view, or like a middle view, anything that have a good view of something. If it's the ocean, the building, animals, something. So those are one of the things I always enjoy when I do travel, and it's very therapeutic on my end. And ocean, especially anything with the ocean and the waves, I'm all for. And I'm all about the warm parts of the ocean compared to cold parts of the ocean, because Oregon ocean coast is very too cold to get into the ocean. I ain't getting in no damn ocean in the Oregon coast,
Yeah.
so it's just too cold. But those are some of the things. So how about you, Ison? What do you look for? What is resetting for you when you travel to these places or to places?
Yeah. So, well, like, I'm just gonna go back from the beginning. Like so I moved here for college. I moved to Portland for college. And so, and I graduated a couple years back, back in 2015. And so I didn't do much traveling outside of like going back home, or going down to like Texas or to California to visit some
Hmm.
family. But I didn't do much like international travel
Yeah,
just because I felt like it was so much money
man,
that I didn't, it just discouraged me,
yeah,
just from going out and
that's real.
stuff. And to me, I was so like, I was a cheapo, to be honest. Like, I did not want to spend money on something that I knew that I may not even enjoy, like traveling,
Yeah.
especially, until I met my wife,
Hmm.
because she loves traveling, even if it's just to like some, like a small city in the US, like in San Diego,
Yeah.
or on the East Coast in New York.
Mm.
I I didn't like traveling, but when I met her, she really liked it. So like it gave me a new kind of perspective of like just seeing people from different
Yeah,
places.
that's cool.
And I mean, I would say I was more like ignorant, I guess, about like what different people are in different places, and just seeing like the food, the culture out there, how people treat other people, how the grocery stores look, like they just it's different than what you see here in the
Hmm.
US. But one of the things that just surprised me, like, how they also say stuff, like in Melbourne, our McDonald's, they call it Macca's over there.
Mm.
Which is it's funny because, like, that in that small thing where, I like McDonald's so much, and just seeing the different, like, how they say things,
Yeah.
and the culture out there is like, I mean, they don't like the culture out there, they don't like eating fast food as
Yeah.
much, but like it's so unique the way they would call it. And to me, it's like, it's just one of those things where you stop and think about, I never thought about how other people call
Hmm.
McDonald's,
Hmm. Or even what's
you
on the
know?
menu too, like on the Mickey
Yeah.
D's menu. I'll be like, damn, that's different.
Yeah. 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 In it, so like so here we have like the basic like burgers, chicken burgers or whatever. In in Italy or in Rome, when we ordered in, and they had like fried chicken, like chicken wings, and then they also had like, I forget what it was, like cheese fries. They had like some like empanada or something. That's not really empanada, but it was kind of like that consistency. But it was just weird to see McDonald's selling different things,
Yeah,
you
it
know.
is.
Where I'm used to just seeing, chicken
Yeah.
nuggets, freaking double quarter
Yeah.
pounder, Big Mac, and stuff. So it's definitely just eye opening. And at that point, that first trip to Melbourne we made, I was like, I need to go to every single McDonald's that where I travel to, because like it's so
Yeah.
different. I just need to
Yeah.
know. And
True.
it's kind of sucky that I'm going to like McDonald's as an example, but it's like it's so different
Yeah.
everywhere,
Yeah.
which is crazy to me, you
Yeah.
know.
And at times, like
But
that can be
yeah,
I feel like a home therapeutic team. Like, wherever you travel to, you have some kind of uh tradition that kind of like brings you and reminds you of like where you're at is different from what you're
exactly.
used
Yeah,
to. So yeah, I think that's a
yeah.
very
It's
valid
kind of
point.
like a homey feeling
Yeah.
where like, oh, look at McDonald's,
Yeah.
like let's try
Yeah.
it out,
Yeah.
But yeah, it just gives you that sense of like, not really home, but like something familiar
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
to you,
Hmm.
and like it just makes you. It reminds you that the world, is is not different, but it's also like they also like the same things, or they have the same things as you, just in a different
Yeah.
variety, or a different like a different standard, I guess, too, which helps me become less ignorant about other cultures for sure.
Yeah, that's a valid point, especially if you visited. So
Mhm.
how old were you when you first traveled? Like when you first got off island?
Um, so I was pretty young. I think maybe our first trip, a family trip, was to the Philippines when I was like
Okay.
10. Or maybe a little less than that, but it was for my grandparents on my mom's side, their 50th anniversary. So the entire like family went on a like family reunion slash vacation to the Philippines, and that was the first time I ever left the island. But I was
Hmm.
more like, I don't have any responsibility. I just have to
Yeah.
follow like my mom and
Yeah.
dad. But yeah, I think when the very first time I left on my own, not on my own, but like with my mom, where I knew what was happening,
Hmm.
or like I understood that like, hey, I'm leaving the island for good. Like being an adult means, leaving the nest and whatever. Where I was so aware of my surroundings was like leaving for college.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like I was leaving all my
Hmm.
friends there,
Yeah.
my family, my brother and my sisters. Like it was very, like it was so surreal to a point where I didn't even think it was going to happen until like the week, the first week I was on my own when my mom left.
Yeah.
Like that's when it really happened, because like um I knew your wife, going coming to Portland. And she and her sister helped me, like, cope with all the like missing home and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But like the one thing that in Samoa, I mean, you've probably learned, is that a lot of people go to church.
Yeah.
A lot of families go to
Yeah.
church. And so my family, we always went to church every single Sunday, plus all the holidays and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And church was like one of those things where we we woke up in the morning together, we ate breakfast, we got ready, we went to church, came back, and then just sat with the family and just like watched TV or watched an NBA game, or if the Super Bowl was on at that time, we watch
Yeah.
it. And that was, I didn't know how important that was until I moved to college.
Hmm.
So like the first Sunday that I had without my mom, we were just like, we were doing like the Our Father, I think it was, or something, and I started to cry.
Hmm.
And I remembered like I miss my family, because like this is something that we do together all the
Yeah.
time, and that was the first time I ever felt that like I missed my family. Because going to college, you just, everything's so busy, you just don't have that time to think.
Yeah.
But like that was the first time, and I was sitting next to your wife and your wife's sister, and they were just there.
Yeah.
They were there for me, and I was just bawling because I was like, I couldn't stop
Yeah.
myself, which is kind of
Yeah.
crazy. But like,
Homesickness.
yeah, exactly. And so going back to like traveling is like, you get to see like how you are as a person,
Yeah.
and like you reflect on what really is important to you, like your
Yeah.
family, or going to church every Sunday, all the things you do with your family on Sunday. It doesn't hit you until you actually feel like you're
Yeah.
alone, or like you get to stay with your thoughts and stuff. So that was that was sort of the first trip where I was more aware of what was going on in my life than when I was 10 going to the
Yeah.
Philippines with
Makes
cousins. It
sense.
was just play around, do nothing. But that was me. How about you? When did you first travel?
I think, when I first traveled to, when I remember, probably like to Disneyland when I was young. I think I was about like six, 6 or 5 or something. I feel a lot of mothers wanting to take their kids to Disneyland at times.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first that I really remember getting on a plane and, and traveling there. After that, we done some like road trips, like family reunion trips. Um, my mom really likes to travel. She always try to encourage me to travel and things as well. So that was good encouragement to just get out of Portland and just see other parts of the world. So other trip I remember at 18 when I graduated from high school, we did a family cruise to Jamaica, and that's when was my first time on a cruise from like Miami to Jamaica, which was pretty cool and pretty fun. But then again, with your example, traveling with family, So I mean, at the time I was 18. It was cool, just seeing the cruise, just kicking it with other young adults on the cruise and seeing the the ocean and things was very calming. But with that traveling to college, like, cause I went to college down south in Alabama at Tuskegee University, which is the HBCU, woo woo, and then Tennessee for 4 years, well, almost 4 years. So like even living on my own in the South was different too, because I was far from Oregon, from Portland. But it was, I didn't really feel I get too homesick just because I wanted to. I was really focusing on just getting to know folks in Tuskegee and also just focusing on like class and stuff too. So, and everyone, I had a mindset too that everyone was just a phone call away. But that's why I felt that helped me not get as much like homesick. So, but yeah,
Mhm.
that I do it. Encourage folks when you travel, it gets you out your comfort zone. And when you're out your comfort zone, that's really when you learn more about yourself and how you are in certain environments or certain moods. So traveling is really huge and beneficial to your overall health, especially your mental health, though. And I really encourage folks, man, just travel anywhere to what your budget can allow you. Like I didn't, like you said, traveling is expensive, man. I didn't realize. I knew how expensive it was to catch a plane ticket from Alabama to Portland, Oregon. I was like, that's expensive. And even
It is
traveling
expensive.
internationally is expensive. So this was my it wasn't until 2023 until I was able to really travel out to Europe. On my next continent,
Mhm.
I want to go to Africa. Like I really want to check out Africa and go to Egypt. But yeah, man, I encourage y'all, man, to travel. Traveling is key.
That would be good. That would be good. The the other thing, just going off of that, is like travel on your own, or at least with someone that has the same sort of like vibe as you, or like is wanting to visit that same spot, with you.
Mm,
Because I think when you're all grown up, you are kind of, like I said, like you're more aware of your surroundings, and like you tend to gravitate or to grab little things from the culture, and then you compare it to your own, and
mm,
you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, just they're similar,
yeah.
like being in being in Rome, like, people are super nice, and they're always giving, and that, that kind of reminds me of like how, you know, the culture back home where I used to live, people are always, here's some food, here's some,
Always,
like,
always,
no matter
always.
how full you are, here's some more food, like it doesn't matter. But like, just go out there and figure out where you want to go. Even if it's just, like 2 cities down or something, or just something that gets you off your, that working mindset that you have, like 40 hours a week. You're always in that work mode. Like, just get out of that, disconnect from that, or just be able to calm yourself down and think about, like, hey, you know what? Let's go to the coast or something, or just go down to a different city, go eat, have a quick lunch there, and just, look around the area. And, you can, it just feels better when you can reset from that working
Right.
mindset, and being able to, um, just get away from all the noise, I guess, take that mental break, basically. But it's definitely something that we encourage you guys to do, that would really help sort
Do
of
it.
influence your mental health.
Do it, y'all. Do it. Just travel some way, somewhere. and
Yep.
share how share with us how it was, and then also share with others how it was, because I think traveling should be mentioned more for folks to really reset their mental and physical health. That's why people do retreats, family trips, solo trips. Traveling's always good. So, and we're going to end it on that note with the traveling part. And then I hope that y'all continue to hear about the next upcoming episodes, because we're going to be discussing how we even traveled to Portland a little bit more, and how we tapped in and adjusting our health
Yes, sir. Yes,
to
sir.
maintain it.
Again, guys, we are happy that you guys are listening to us. We are happy that you guys are here to join us, and listening to us and giving you guys our sort of experiences, and hopefully you guys have learned from that. We we want to let you know we have a new Gmail account. It is called figuringusout@gmail.com. If you guys want to, send us your critiques, or send us up props, or give us your rating, or just let us know what you're up to. Let us know what you're doing to keep your mental health up. We want to hear from you, for sure. Again, we are encouraging everyone to, live your best life. Travel more. Find what works for you. We do ask that you, like as usual, like, comment, subscribe. Wherever you are listening to this, we appreciate it, and we thank you. And until then, we'll see you later.
Till next time.